Imagine you are living in a freezing, foggy cave tens of thousands of years ago. You are shivering in the wild nature. Suddenly, just because of a biting cold wind, your skin immediately raises. Your fine hairs stand upright all at once. You shiver and rub your arms, look down at your reflection in a puddle, and bewilderedly wonder what on earth is happening to your body. The fascinating truth is, tens of thousands of years later, the modern you reacts in the exact same way. You are sitting watching a horror movie or immersing yourself in a great piece of music, and suddenly those tiny bumps pop up all over your arms again. Wait, we are modern humans, having shed almost all of our thick fur that could stand up. So why does this phenomenon still exist? Many people mistakenly think getting goosebumps only happens when we are cold. But in reality, it appears even when we are scared, deeply moved, or even extremely excited. Humans are almost entirely bare of fur but still get goosebumps. Does this still make any sense? So why do humans have the reflex to get goosebumps? Is it just a redundant detail of evolution? Or is it hiding an ancient survival secret? And to understand why that happens, we must travel back in time, hundreds of thousands of years. Before diving deep into the story, if you find this topic interesting, do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button to the channel. Your free subscription will help us bring more fascinating scientific videos. Our distant ancestors initially lived in the incredibly warm tropical regions of Africa. Then they began their migration journey to colder lands in Europe and Asia. In the evolutionary process to adapt to the hot environment, human ancestors lost their thick fur to dissipate heat better. However, when stepping into the freezing lands, keeping the body warm became a matter of survival. The hair erection system is actually not exclusive to humans. Even from primate ancestors, this mechanism had appeared. Whenever the body caught a cold or was startled, the brain immediately sent an alarm signal. A reflex of self-defense and heat retention appeared, causing the hair and the skin at the base of the hair to be pulled tight. Although millions of years have passed, our layer of fur has thinned immensely and turned into faint peach fuzz, but that hair erection reflex still lies dormant in our genetic code, like a survival gift we inherited from our ancestors. When your body is exposed to a cold draft or encounters strong stimuli such as fear and astonishment, the hypothalamus and amygdala in the brain will immediately activate the sympathetic nervous system. This system instantly releases adrenaline, which is a signature hormone for the fight or flight state. This active substance travels straight to the muscle cells in the hair follicles. The erector pili muscle is an extremely tiny muscle block attached from the hair follicle down to the epidermis. When stimulated, it contracts strongly, pulling the top of the hair follicle upwards, making the surrounding skin swell into small bumps that we commonly call goosebumps. In animals with a thick coat of fur, when the erector pili muscle contracts, the air layer underneath will be trapped, creating a perfect insulating layer that helps keep the body warm. Not only that, this reflex is also closely linked to intense emotions. When you face a dangerous or exciting situation, it is adrenaline that makes you shiver and get goosebumps to heighten your alertness. Numerous studies point out that this is an incredibly common phenomenon in the animal kingdom. In nature, species like leopards, lions, or tigers, when angry, will raise the fur around their necks to make their bodies swell up, aiming to intimidate enemies. You can also easily see dogs and cats raising their fur when startled. This proves that raising fur helps increase survival and self-protection capabilities. On the human side, scientists have discovered that we get goosebumps even with mental stimuli. A study in the year 2016 at Harvard University scanned the brains of 20 students while they listened to music or watched movies. The results showed that only half of them had a goosebump reaction. This group of people possessed a significantly higher density of nerve fibers connecting the auditory region and the emotional processing brain region, proving they perceive artistic stimuli at a much more intense level than normal people. Another survey of 600 people in the year 2023 also concluded that getting goosebumps is a sign showing the body is participating in processing incredibly profound emotions. From an evolutionary perspective, genetic analysis data regulating hair follicles has indicated that the hair erection mechanism was formed from primate species over 20 million years ago. Clearly, it appeared long before humans knew how to use animal skins to make clothes about 77,000 years ago. But the strangest and most surprising part of the story lies here. The phenomenon of getting goosebumps is not simply for keeping warm or intimidating enemies momentarily, but it is also closely related to activating the stem cells of the hair follicle. A groundbreaking study from Harvard University published in Cell magazine in the year 2020 discovered this. When the hair root contracts, the sympathetic nervous system not only sends a muscle contraction signal but also directly stimulates the stem cells located deep in the skin. Simply put, getting goosebumps is a short-term warning signal, but if the cold persists, the body will send a message requesting to grow more hair. This is an incredibly sophisticated two-stage reflex, both erecting hair instantly to retain warmth and initiating a long-term hair growth program to put a thicker coat on the body. From the story of Goosebumps, we see a broader picture of the biological heritage of humanity. Even though today we know how to knit woolen sweaters or build warm houses, our brains and genetic genes still cherish the most primitive reflexes. Both the prehistoric you and the modern you share the same bodily reflex. That implicitly confirms that nature always has a secret language, silently operating in both the ancient and modern worlds. Regardless of age, any one of us can shiver and get goosebumps. Every time we get goosebumps because of a stunning sunset or an epic symphony, we seem to be receiving a shared memory of humanity, that the human body is so sensitive and easily moved by beauty, an ancient vibration older than any civilization on Earth. So, in summary, why do we get goosebumps? Getting goosebumps is not a tool for the present, but it is the fierce memory of our ancestors. This reflex does not prove that we have evolved transcendently, but it reminds us that a part of the eternal survival instinct is still deeply engraved in every layer of our skin and flesh. Let us return to the prehistoric you amidst the freezing wind tens of thousands of years ago. Now you smile faintly, feeling the body reflex not only helping to withstand the immediate cold, but also awakening the hair follicles to prepare for a harsh winter. And in another world, the modern you slowly opens your eyes after enjoying a good piece of music, watching the goosebumps fading on your arms, and gently smiling. The story has closed into a perfect circle, connecting from our distant ancestors to this very day. Could it be that everything we consider a normal reflex is actually the magnificent signs of the past? Phenomena like getting goosebumps serve to remind us that humans and the natural world have never been apart. Although we are always proud to be the animals with the highest consciousness, it is precisely the silent reflexes from the past that are defining who we are day and night. Will there ever be a day, if we accidentally lose these primitive reflexes, would we still be ourselves?